Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm just here to have a bit more of a play with the bits and bobs that I made on holiday. So just kind of trying to clear my desk a little bit. Not that it's going to make any difference, I'm sure. But get rid of some of these bits and bobs that I made on holiday so that we can then crack on with doing some of the projects that I've got, you know, lined up that I'm wanting to do. So I just wanted to show you, if you watched my last video, I said that I wanted to finish this tiny tag off with some ball chain. So I just wanted to show you that what I did was actually created another little tag just using some book page and some sheet music, and just backed it onto some card that was just laying around on my desk. I've distress inked it up so it's, you know, nice and coordinating, and then just popped a hole in the top with a hole reinforcer. I don't know why I can never remember the name of those things. And then just popped some ball chain through there. So that's how that turned out as the finished item. So I think that's quite cute. So I just thought I would share that with you. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. So the items that we didn't get around to doing in the last video were these tags. So I'm just going to crack on and decorate these tags up. So I'm just going to start by just distress ink this one. So I hope everybody's having a nice day. Hope that you're all managing to do some crafting. The sun's shining here. It's early again, so the children are, well, I say the children are in bed, then that's completely not true actually. My middle son is still in bed. My eldest son has already left because I think I had already mentioned that he's got an apprenticeship that he's starting on the 1st. So today he's had to go off to enroll on the college course. So he's going to be gone for the whole day because I think there's kind of, I don't know, they have to do some entry level stuff and induction type work and things like that. So he's already gone off because he had to get the train there. And my daughter is up and again just bribing her with playing on her tablet. So yeah, that's what's going on in my house at the moment. Right, so this particular tag, again, I've just got this lace laying around on my desk. We used this, I think, in the other video. So that's how come it's still hanging around. So I'm just going to punch a hole in the top like that, and I will just use one of those hole reinforcers. Yay, I actually got the terminology right. And I mean, I've said this before, I do kind of normally glue these down as well. I mean, they're probably fine without gluing, but I just never quite feel, you know, that I can trust them. So there we go. Just glue that down like that. That was my first, you know, I think, of this video so far. I'm sure there will be more. Right, and we'll just thread this through. And I feel like this is missing something, so maybe a butterfly or a flower or something is needed on this. So let's just have a look. Or maybe a word, actually. I've got some words here. Let's have a look. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? So this is just been cut out. I'm just going to rough it up now so it's a bit more rough and ready to go onto the tag. Oops. We've been quite lucky with the weather since we've got home. It's been sunshine. So yesterday I took the children down the beach. We were only there a couple of hours, but we just took a picnic down there, some sandwiches, and then they all wanted some chips on the way home, so we stopped and had some chips. I didn't have any chips, but they all did. So yeah, we had a nice time, and apparently we're in for you know, possibly record-breaking temperatures this weekend. I mean, who knows whether that will turn out to be the case or not. It's just some muslin-y stuff that I've got here to the side. I'll just cut that very roughly. Yeah, who knows whether that will transpire, but that's what they're saying at the moment, is it's going to be record-breaking temperature at the weekend. So who knows? I did suggest camping, maybe on Saturday night or something, but I mean, sorry, I can't speak for some reason. We could camp down at the kind of, you know, where the beach is basically. And that's where my eldest son works for his weekend job, where he works in a really busy cafe down there. Well, I call it a cafe. He calls it a restaurant. He gets very offended when I say cafe. They're kind of a cross between, you know, really excellent standard of food and quite expensive, I think, really, for a cafe. But having said that, their food is very, very, very good and really nice, and very big portions and things. But yeah, so I said, oh, we could camp down there, and then when he finishes work, we could just go and sort of pick him up. I mean, we wouldn't even have to drive. We could just walk round from the campsite and pick him up and go back to the tent and you know, camp with him, and then he could go to work from the tent the next day. But he said, oh, I don't really want to camp when I'm working. I said, why not? He said, oh, I want to shower properly and things before work. So, you know, so we're not going to camp after all, but that's fine. You know, to be honest, I mean, when I say camping, we are not really campers. We go for like one night and that is it. And to be fair, it's quite a bit of effort, isn't it, to get everything out and ready just for one night's camping. So probably better off not camping anyway, if I'm truthful. But I just thought if the weather was nice that it might have been something fun to do, but that's fine, we won't. But we probably will spend the whole weekend at the beach nonetheless, and we will just drive down to the beach each of the days. So I'm sure that we will have a lovely time at the beach. I'm quite liking the Fabri-Tac, except it does get, you know, everywhere, stuck on me. But it is quite good glue, I think. Okay. Still, you know, trying to catch up with comments and emails and things like that from the holiday. So, and obviously still just now getting back into the swing of doing videos and things like that. So hopefully I will be back to full I don't know what the term is, full operation, let's just call it, very soon. So I do find it a bit distracting when the children are home, I have to be truthful, because you're aware that you don't have the biggest amount of time before you're going to get interrupted. You know, it's really nice to do crafting when you can just spend ages doing it, isn't it? Right, there we go. That's really pretty, isn't it? Now, does that need anything else? What does everyone think? Got some flowers here. I know that's brown, but I just thought it's quite a vintage looking tag and it could have gone, but probably not. Let me see what else I've got. I'm just literally using rubbish that's just laying around on my desk. I mean, that desk ephemera, really, not rubbish. Not rubbish, I mustn't call it rubbish. Let me see. I'm going to move the pile of things that I made over to the other corner of my desk so that or I might have to put them on the floor because they might just topple down in a minute. Right, they're just balanced precariously over there. Just having a look to see if I've got any butterflies or stamped items or anything like that I could use on there. Oh, you never have what you want to use, do you? Got that little stamped postage stamp. I could use that. Maybe just pop that there, tucking behind there, and I'm just going to use my, you know, regular glue rather than the Fabri-Tac here. As you can see, it's all oozing out now. There we go. Just dab that off. I'm still on the hunt for a butterfly. I just really fancy using a butterfly there, and I don't appear to have one. And the annoying thing is, I'm sure I do have one, and it's just hidden somewhere. I mean, I have obviously got them in other places, but I'm just trying to be a little bit more efficient and not just take all day doing these videos. So perhaps I'll have to just leave that. Oh no, I can't leave it. I'm going to have to. So in this, which I took this on holiday, I've got all sorts of bits and bobs in here. So I know for a fact that I have got butterflies in here because I obviously made sure that I had some butterflies for whilst we were away. So I just have to look through and find them. Come on. Maybe, yes, down here. So these are just some stamped butterflies. But they're the most gorgeous butterflies, aren't they? Lovely stamp. I think this was a Kaisercraft stamp. I actually can't remember now. I'm sure I've done a video showing which stamp this was, but obviously that's now buried in amongst my videos. But it's a lovely stamp, isn't it? There we go. And I need to go out and buy the new school uniform, you know, ready for starting school again, because obviously the two who are left at school, the middle one and my daughter, they've obviously grown out of their shoes, and obviously their shoes are really worn out. I mean, my son's aren't too bad actually, but my daughter's, my gosh, I'm surprised that they managed to last as long as they did, because she doesn't really look after things very well. Yeah, I like that butterfly there. So it was worth hunting that down after all. I did have my doubts a couple of times and thought perhaps I should just get on without it, but no, I do like it. Yeah, her shoes were on their last legs for the last couple of months really, but I strung it out and refused to buy new ones. Not that she was asking, she doesn't care, but I just mean, you know, I didn't want to have to buy new ones, so I persevered and kept going with those old ones. Right, so I've done that one. I'll pop that to the side. Then we've got this one, which isn't this gorgeous? I just always love old pictures of buildings and things. They're just lovely, aren't they? Okay, mix this up. And actually, I haven't roughed around this tag, so just going to rough the edges up. I mean, I don't always rough around them, but I do like them roughed up. I think that really adds something nice to them, makes them sort of textured. Yeah, so the school uniform. So need to just go and get, you know, new school shoes, maybe a couple of dresses for my daughter, some shoes. I already said shoes, sorry. Some skirts and things like that. And I mean, I don't go mad I'll just get her probably 2 skirts and a dress, or maybe the other way around, a skirt and 2 dresses, and a couple of shirts to wear, or blouses to wear with her skirts. She does get very messy, I have to say, and she's known for it, I think, because the teachers laugh when she goes in her clean uniform, and laugh to say, you know, I wonder how long that's going to stay clean for. Not long. So we just need a couple of things to obviously keep her going. And then my son will need some new trousers, because they were, you know, getting to the point where they were flapping around his ankles. Well, they weren't that bad, but definitely he does need some new ones. And a shirt and things like that. So luckily he doesn't need a blazer. And obviously he can have my elder son's blazer now that my eldest son has now left school. So that's really good. And to be honest, I mean, uniform really isn't very expensive now, because all the supermarkets over here, definitely in England, they do all the school uniform very cheaply. I mean, I think last year I ended up paying something like £3.50 for my daughter's summer dresses. And I think the skirt, I think I got a pack of 2 skirts. I think, yeah, I got her 1 summer dress, which actually she just wore throughout the whole year, you know, with tights. And a pack of 2 skirts for £7 or something, and then a couple of blouses, which again I think the 2 blouses maybe were £6. Really not very expensive at all. And then I got her, I think, a 2 pack of cardigans for about £8, and obviously then I just bought 1 official, you know, school cardigan with their logo and things on it, just to mix it in with. But yeah, so they're pretty efficient. I don't know whether that's just over here that we have that now, where supermarkets and things do the school uniforms, but it definitely helps, because I can remember my older sister, when her children were younger, and I'm sure that their uniform kind of came to, you know, £100, or an incredible amount of money anyway. You know, whereas now, I mean, you can kind of kit them out completely for about £25, which, that's pretty good value, isn't it? You know, and obviously they do tend to then last for the whole year. Or I certainly make them last for the whole year. So yeah, not too bad. Right, sorry, I'm just drivelling on again about rubbish. Just planning what I've got to do, really. Probably the next time I do a video, I still won't have actually been and got the school uniform. I'm rubbish when it comes to things like that. I've got to do a food shop as well today, because so far since being back from holiday, we've bought just the bare minimum to just get us through the next few days. So we've just been, yeah, making do with, you know, the bare minimum, really. So I need to go and do a food shop, which, oh, the thought of that is always so boring, isn't it? I've talked about this before, I know, but it's weird. I used to really like food shopping and shopping generally, and now I don't really like it at all. I think I resent doing it because I think, oh, I could be at home doing other things, crafting videos, you know, stuff like that, which is so much more fun, obviously, than walking around the supermarket. And clearly everybody feels the same, because when you go to the supermarket now, it's quite empty, whereas it used to be absolutely heaving in there. So everyone obviously is feeling the same way. Oh, I can't get these bits and pieces just how I want them on here. Very annoying. Let's have a look. I think really what I would like to put on here are some of these flowers. But again, I'm trying not to take up too much time. I'm failing miserably, obviously. So let me just see if I've got any of those flowers just ready cut from that little bag of, or that little pouch of, you know, the things that I fussy cut whilst I was on holiday. Because if I've got some ready cut, then I don't mind using them. I don't really want to have to then dig out the paper, find the images, cut them out, because that's just all zapping up the time, isn't it? Oh, would you believe there aren't any in there? That's so annoying. Clearly I am not back in the swing of things yet, so if I mix those flowers in. Also got this postage stamp. So these are some new digis, which at the point of doing this video I haven't decided on a name yet for these fussy cuts, so I haven't actually launched them yet, but might be by the time that I put the video up I maybe have, and they maybe would be in my shop. So but if they're not, they will be in there soon. Excuse me. Excuse me, I've got a terrible frog in my throat. No, that's too big. About these. Well, they're kind of nice. It's weird because I wouldn't normally kind of mix the flowers together. You know, when there's one type of flower, I wouldn't necessarily mix another type of flower with them. I think that's just me. I don't know why, but I'm just going to do that with a wet wipe because I've got a big splodge there. So I had a wipe hanging on my drawer handle drying out. If I have it like that. Oh, I don't know. Now, why are things not coming together today? It's so annoying. Just standing up now to see whether it's looking better up here, because sometimes, you know, just looking down rather than doing it sat right in front of it actually does make quite a difference, doesn't it? So, oh, I'm just going to go for this because I'm sure that none of you want to just sit here watching me deliberate over, shall I stick this flower on, shall I not? I mean, this is where that 3 in 30 challenge is quite helpful. I mean, as I say, I filmed up to F and I haven't yet filmed G because I'm not fully back to myself since coming back. So I need to just do a couple more videos to get back to my usual self, my kind of gung-ho ways. At the moment, I'm still in very much procrastinating mode, and that's just frustrating and clearly wouldn't really work with the whole 3 in 30. So right, I'm going to cut this down, just make that smaller, see whether, oh, because I've got that glue stuck all over my fingers, that's now catching on everything. Right, what do we think to that? That's quite pretty, isn't it? So I'm going to pop that on with the Fabri-Tac. And as I do that, no doubt I'll get even more stuck over me now. So I'll be attaching to things even more than I was previously. There we go. There we go, like that. And actually, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull those fussy cut items back that I was just rummaging through, because I'm going to see whether I've got any more of these flowers, because they may look good down there, mightn't they? Let's have a look. Oh, what's the odds that I now haven't got any more? Ah, here we go. Perfect. Perfect. Right. Well, I say perfect. I haven't tried them there yet. They maybe are not perfect at all. Yeah, I like those. So just going to now ink those up so that they now match the others. These are just some fussy cut flowers from my Blossom Blush kit. So that's what they're from. And I might have to still have the, I'm just going to try and use this glue up this has been on my desk the whole time we were away, but just with a pin stuck in it, which luckily hasn't rusted at all. So it's not discoloured or anything. But I'm trying to use that up so that then I at least just have one tube of glue. Well, now I have 2 tubes anyway because I've got the Fabri-Tac, but there we go. The butterfly is just a little bit on the big side, but obviously because I don't want to take up everybody's time, I haven't really got time to grab a smaller one. I wonder if I've got a small, let's try this. So, see if I can just stamp that somewhere, which actually, I'm just trying to stamp it in brown. There we go, right. Just need now some coffee dye paper, which again, I must have some buried here amongst the rubbish that's all over my desk. Because you name it, it's here. Oh, come on. You name it, it's here, except for obviously the one thing that I actually am looking for. Of course, that's not here. Oh, come on. Just looking for the tiniest piece, just to be able to stamp that in. Right, okay. I'm just going to use this and I will just distress it. Might as well do 2, as I'm utilising that piece of paper. Right. These might be too small actually, now that I've done all that. Right, and I just did that in the brown stays on rather than the black. Ink those up. So they're not bright white now. Okay. I think this butterfly is I think a Crafty Individuals butterfly. Actually, that might not be true. It escapes me what butterfly this is then. The reason I say that isn't the case actually is because their stamps come unmounted. And that one, although it was on a block, I glued that onto a block because I like using my stamps on blocks. But it was actually a clear stamp. So it definitely wasn't, therefore, a Crafty Individuals. And actually, I'm going to cut those bottom bits off because they're making it very difficult to fussy cut. And then I'll just go in there, get that little corner from the wing. That's it. Okay, let's try that. Oh, is that now too small? Oh, what is going on today? Oh, I thought perhaps I would be improving. But actually, this seems the worst video I've done since I've been back. Oh, let's just go for that because otherwise I'm going to be here all day. So I'm just going to glue that down like that. Okay. So that's that one. So looks pretty, doesn't it? Let me see what the time is. Right, we're up to 29.5 minutes, so I will probably have to call it quits. I'm just going to stick this down because I noticed that this petal wasn't attached. Yes, we're probably going to have to call that quits, and I've done the most appalling job because I've literally achieved 2 tags, bearing in mind that the actual tags were made anyway, so I was just decorating them up. But never mind, that's just how it goes sometimes, isn't it? And then obviously I had showed you that one. So that's all we've got time for today, I'm afraid, because obviously I'd best go and wake my son up and things and get started for the day. But I will see you all again soon, and hopefully normal operation will be achieved soon. So thank you very much, and I see you all again soon. Thanks then. Bye.